Welcome to Cedar Club, Quincy's favorite local bar. A friendly corner bar with a laid-back atmosphere and affordable drinks. It's the perfect spot for a great time. With entertainment galore, including shuffleboard, golden tee, pool, foosball, and winning gaming machines. Cedar Club's latest edition is the best spot to catch your favorite game. Great drinks, great friends, and great times. Cedar Club, 20th and Cedar in Quincy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Cindy Lynn Drainer with Mended Hearts Support Group. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you. So I looked up this group because I didn't know a lot about it, and that's because you're brand new.
Yes.
Right?
Brand new.
Okay.
We will have our first meeting next Monday at 5:30 in the Sun Room at the Hannibal Hospital.
Okay. So brand new. And I find it really hard to believe that there wasn't something like this already because we all know. So Mended Hearts, give me a little information on it before I.
So Mended Hearts is the biggest peer support group out there. And it was founded in, I want to say 51 by a doctor and some of his patients that he had done heart surgery on. And he did some studies with those. He got them together and found out that they did better in the peer setting. And so they kind of pushed the peer support group. And
Gotcha.
It's all nationwide now.
So it's for primarily for people who are having heart issues, who have undergone heart surgery. Is that right? Or have heart disease, or who all is it?
It's
it touching?
open to anybody that's
Okay.
had any kind of cardiac issue or even caregivers.
Gotcha.
So it's open to both.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say it's surprising that we don't have something like this in our community, that we haven't until now, because we all know heart disease and heart issues affect a large portion of this community, of the nation, it's a big deal.
Right. It's the number one killer of women.
Right.
So it was personal for me in my journey. I actually had a heart attack in 2020.
Oh, wow.
And so when, of course, that was COVID too, so that made everything worse. But finding out afterwards and going through cardiac rehab, there wasn't anything out there. I mean, they had cancer support groups, they had diabetes support groups, but there was nothing for cardiac patients. And there wasn't anything within driving distance for cardiac patients. And so I really struggled with that. Cardiac rehab was really good because you were with your peers and there was no judgment there. Everybody had similar issues, maybe not the same, but they were going through stuff. Their lives had changed. Lots of feelings involved with that. And so you formed relationships with those people in cardiac rehab, but that only lasts for so long and then it's gone. And then there was nobody else to reach out to. So I've been kind of on a mission for the last 3 years to get this started up, reaching out to a support group that's already established nationwide, what's working for them, why recreate the wheel.
Right.
And then getting Hannibal Regional on board because they've been expanding their heart program as well, adding doctors and, open heart surgery and stuff like that. So it was finally just a good fit to finally get it off the ground.
Definitely makes sense, yeah. It's crazy to think, I'm not even going to ask how old you are, but you look very, very young to have a heart attack. And it just goes to show that there is no face of heart issues or, it can affect anyone at any time. And I can only imagine how your life is flipped upside down after going through something like that and trying to kind of reorganize your life in a way that helps on your health journey, because those things aren't easy when you're making, I assume, dietary changes and exercise changes and making sure that you're doing the right things at the right time, but not doing too much because that can put stress. All those things, sometimes doctors tell you, they give you tips and tricks on how to achieve some of that. But again, they're not one size fits all. So I can only imagine how great it is to have other people to talk about those things with and maybe even commiserate a little bit. You're thankful that you're here, but
most of them are. But you almost go through a regular grief process, just like loss. I didn't have any prior issues. I did familial on my dad's side of the family. But I was woke up in the middle of the night. For women, they present different than men.
Really?
So mine presented with teeth pain.
Weird.
And it wouldn't let up. And so I ended up getting to the ER, was actively still having a heart attack, got the treatment. But one of the things my first cardiologist told me, because I was really struggling, it is an actual life change. Your life, it's basically before and after. And he was like, a lot of people suffer from depression after this, and depression will kill you faster than your heart disease.
Sure.
So you have to overcome that. But not your family can't necessarily relate. Friends my age couldn't relate. So, allowing people to come in and complain or be upset or, be happy or, to have all of those feelings and take that journey together is going to be helpful for the whole community, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. So aside from, just having the community aspect of people who've, gone through similar situations, what else can people expect from the support group? I mean, are you talking about different ways to cope, or what does is there a typical meeting?
What I've found out is there's not necessarily like a structured meeting that you can go through.
Okay.
At least once a month, we're going to bring in someone from the hospital or someone from the community, maybe one of the nutritionists or the pharmacists or something, to kind of go over what's going on right then, or if they have questions, they can direct them towards them, because there's so much to navigate after that.
Right.
And so, we'll try to do support and education at the same time.
Yeah. So some keynote speakers from time to time, so you can maybe get some education, but also have that just the chance to speak with others about what you're going through, whether it's grief or...
and people expect you to be thankful and so happy and, have this, I'm alive, my life's going to be different, but it's kind of like everything else at the moment. Yeah, you are, but then you go through and there is depression and there is sadness and there is, anger and all of those things that follow, and some people don't understand that because they're like, oh, well, you survived, you should be super happy. And I'm like, yeah, you survived. At that moment you're thinking, I survived, but my life looks nothing like it did before. I can't do any of these things I did before. I'm scared to do these things I did before. There's just so many things that go with it.
I can't even imagine. It's got to be just, it's a huge life hurdle, and thankfulness of course is a part of it, but there's so much more. And I didn't realize the teeth thing. So that is crazy to me that these symptoms can exist. And I mean, if I had heart or teeth pain right now, I don't know that I would associate it with a heart attack and go to the hospital.
And that's one of the hardest things for women, especially, is because women usually die from it because they'll put it off, because women are always like, oh, it's something else. Yeah. And men usually present with that more, crushing chest pain, arm pain, what people think of, oh, you're having a heart attack.
Typical, yeah.
Women, can have shoulder pain. They can be sick to their stomach, just sweating, flu-like symptoms, teeth pain a lot of times. So it presents differently in women, and a lot of times it's misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed, or people will just let it go. But, like I said, I was asleep. It woke me up, and it just felt like my teeth were being crushed, really.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, I put it off for 45 minutes before I did anything, and if the pain would have let up, I probably wouldn't have went, but it just wouldn't. And
well, I'm thankful you recognized the symptom and took charge. I mean, that's incredible. I'm glad you're still here, even though you're going through some stuff, I'm sure. But it is incredible that that it took that to create something great in our community. And I'm sure other people are going to be thankful to have this resource. So Mended Hearts is support group for anybody who has heart-related issues or who've undergone surgery, or really anyone, and caregivers, right?
Exactly.
And you meet at Hannibal Regional Hospital.
Our first meeting is going to be Monday the 9th at 5:30 in the sunroom.
Okay.
We're hoping to get at least 10 people to get an organized chapter. We have to have 10 members, and so we're starting from ground zero at this point and just kind of building it.
Perfect.
So we want to get the word out. You don't have to go to Hannibal Regional to get services. You can get services anywhere. It's welcome to anybody.
Gotcha. So you can be a Quincy patient and still go for the support group.
Absolutely.
That's excellent. If anybody out there would like more information, where would they go?
They can contact me at 573-253-0774. My name's Cindy. Or Hannibal Regional Hospital also has the flyer on their Facebook page.
Yep, perfect. Well, thank you so much for making this personal, and also taking it to the next level and helping others. I really, really think it's going to be great, and I have no doubt that you're going to get your chapter. So good luck to you.
So.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you, and good luck with everything.
Thanks
so
for
much,
having me
Cindy.
on.
Absolutely. All right, coming up next, DOB and I sit down to talk about scams, and more scams. Stay tuned.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center.
Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Welcome out to Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer and it feels so right. I'll meet you out on Broadway underneath Shamrock Light. We're gonna have a good time on the patio tonight. There's a party down at Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer on a champagne night. We're feeling all alone and you got no place to go. So come down here and drink a beer on Kelly's patio. Kelly's a fun place to eat and drink. 2902 Broadway.
And welcome back. Now joining me, D.O.B., my pal from the BBB. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So I got to tell you, what we're going to talk about today, I experienced personally yesterday.
Oh, no.
So it's great. It's great timing.
You lost money in an online purchase.
No.
Okay. What happened?
Okay,
Share with the group.
We're talking today about online shopping scams, right? As we near the holidays, we're all shopping for things. And there are those items that everybody's trying to get. Fraudulent websites follow those trends, and they know those items that everybody's dying to get their hands on.
Yep.
So they create these fake listings. The one I was trying to find yesterday was a pair of shoes. I'm not going to say who they're for in case they watch, but of course, websites like StockX, the GOAT, right? Those are they're different because they source shoes from other buyers and then they sell them. So I was looking on there. My mom was looking at home, and she called. She was like, I found them on this site, something USA. It might as well have been Good Shoe USA by now. You know, it just sounded that kind of sketchy. So I was like, well, did you Google the name of the store to see their, if they're legit? And gave her the site that you told me to look up when the website was created.
Yes.
She said they have great reviews. And I said, a lot of those can be sponsored, so you have to look for that because that means they're bought and paid for.
Correct.
Right? She determined that it is, in fact, a legit site, but they charge exorbitant prices for something that you don't know if you're going to get because they haven't yet sourced it from another supplier. So it all came into my brain when she was like, oh, yeah, Good Shoe USA. I was like, double check that one. Thanks to Don O'Brien, I had my buyer beware hat on.
We should all have our buyer beware hats on. I know that's terrible to say that we need to have our buyer beware hats on, but if you're dealing with someone who you've never dealt with before, which is exactly what you and your mother were doing, you had to do that extra homework to see if whatever this website was legitimate or not.
Yeah.
So,
and it's easy to get trapped into that because you're searching, scouring the internet for this product that everybody wants that you can't find anywhere, and you see it pop up. So it's like, oh yeah, impulse. I got to buy that now.
Yes.
Right.
And we're, what are we, 3 weeks not even from Christmas? So, the clock is ticking on when that item can get here. So, yes. So we want to make sure that, that people are aware of different things. Just late last month, we did an update to a online shopping scam study that we first did in 2021 when we looked at for my work that I do with St. Louis BBB and here in Quincy, I do the regional director work here in Quincy, but I also work as an investigator for St. Louis. I'm on the ground. I'm looking at businesses in our area.
Yeah.
We have an international investigations person out in New York who takes more of a 30,000-foot look of scams all over the place and international. And obviously online is huge. And our BBB scam tracker from 2023 to 2024 has had a 125% increase in online purchase scams.
I believe it.
We had about 30,000 overall last year in 23 reported to us. We're at almost 20,000 by the end of June this year. So, we're seeing big increase in that. Obviously, I don't know where you were looking for these shoes from, but a lot of those traps are laid in social media.
Yep.
So, you're looking for these shoes, and all of a sudden you go to whatever is your Instagram or your TikTok or your Facebook, and you name the social media thing, and then all of a sudden those start to pop up there.
Yeah.
So you just really have to be vigilant. And what hat did you put on again?
My buyer beware hat.
Your buyer beware hat, yes.
Yeah.
We have to put on our buyer beware hat. Maybe we should market those. The BBB buyer beware hat.
Yeah, maybe it should be a beanie, buyer beware beanie from the BBB. Yeah, so I think that it's unfortunate that we have to be skeptical, but I wouldn't go so far as to call it cynicism yet, because you don't have to look at everything through scam glasses, but you do have to be aware that when you're on non-reputable sites, or the stalker ads that follow you through social media, a lot of times you can tell the difference when you go to those sites, just how they look, that it may be from a not so great place, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes they're really good at replicating.
So you use critical thinking when you purchased, and that's what we don't see happen a lot.
Yeah.
Is you and your mother critically thought about this purchase. You're like, okay, we want to make sure that if we're going to spend our hard-earned dollars on this gift for our loved one, we want to make sure it's going to a legitimate business.
Right. And I like to think that I taught my mom that, hey, double check it.
Well, she does watch, because I ran into her a few weeks ago out in the public, and
she's a regular fan. Thanks, Mom.
So, we see people when they come across an online purchase scam, a lot of times people fall into it. Ones that report it to us, obviously they're going to more often than not report when they lost money than if they don't.
Sure.
In your case, you probably wouldn't report that because you didn't buy anything.
Right.
But in 78% of the cases we've seen this year, people have reported that to us, that they've lost money in that online purchase situation. And the losses are around $125 a piece. And again, we've gotten tens of thousands of those. That doesn't include all the reports that maybe the FTC gets to their Consumer Sentinel database. The IC3, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center gets their own. They put all that information, including our scam tracker, into the FTC's Consumer Sentinel report that'll come out next year. But it's coming from all angles.
Yeah.
So you've really got to be wary. Some of the things you've got to look for are those too good to be true prices. I don't know what the price was on these shoes.
No, it wasn't too good to be true. They were just available, which they weren't anywhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, that in itself can sometimes be a red flag. It's like, well, gosh, I've looked high and low for this thing, and now, boom, here it is in front of me.
And they can charge more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you're out more money.
Yeah. Payment is really a big deal too. I don't know what you would have had, how you would have had to pay for that item, but could you give a regular credit card for that?
You do credit card, but they always have Shop, Apple Pay, they have the top three, right, that are kind of easy buttons to click, but then they have the option for credit card down below.
Yeah, well, that's good. So as long as they're only saying, oh, you can only Cash App me, or you can only send this through electronic form of payment. Again, those forms of payment are like handing over cash to that person. When you use that credit card, you have that ability to do that charge back. So that's one thing to think about. Your shipping is really important right now. We're 3 weeks out from the big day. There's less time. The time is ticking on that.
Yeah.
So, and we hear from consumers a lot who will say, "Oh, I paid for expedited shipping and I didn't get this."
Yeah.
So, not only are they throwing a lot of money at an item, they're also paying for that expedited shipping. So we all know, no matter who does that, they're going to pay a lot of money for that.
Sure.
For that shipping. So you've really got to be careful. So again, you can find all this information at bbb.org. I've got 8 pages here.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we going to read through all these DOB?
No, I'm not going to read through. These are just my bullet points.
Okay, good.
But if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of the work that my friend Brian out in New York did for our BBB, you can read that. It's all right there, and it's
really interesting.
It's all kinds of if you're a statty nerd guy like me,
can be.
there's stuff in there that you might like to read about.
It's all interesting. It's all really unfortunate, but if you have your buyer beware hat on, you can
wear your buyer beware hat.
Right there, you go.
Maybe I have to talk to this. I have to talk to our folks at BBB and the BBB's IABBB out in
just give me a little
the Washington D.C. and say, hey, we need to market the BBB buyer beware hat.
Yes, I love it. And then next time you come back for a visit, we're talking about the 12.
We're going to do the 12 scans of Christmas next week.
Love it.
How
Can't
about
wait
that?
For that. That's going to be awesome. Don O'Brien.
On the first scan of Christmas, my true love took from me.
Yeah. All my money.
My not true love.
Yeah. Some scammy stranger took from me.
There you go.
Yeah, all my Christmas money.
I won't sing next week, I promise.
I might.
Okay.
Listen, it's the holidays. All bets are off. Don O'Brien, thank you so much. Always a joy.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, I think that does it for today's Daily Muddy. We'll catch you back here tomorrow for Club Muddy.